everyone, it's Steph here. This is the Novelty Corner and welcome to a Books Beside My Bed video. For those of you who are new here, I film one of these every week where I wrap up the last 7 days worth of reading, and for anyone who's very familiar with the series, welcome back. This is my reading week from the 6th until the 12th of November. I read a total of 13 things this week, and I have a currently reading that I'll share with you in a minute. That equated to 1,195 pages, and my yearly reading total is 466 books. Now, 5 of those texts I did talk about in my most recent vlog, which was the vlog Megan Chooses My TBR, so I will leave that linked on the screen. And I talked about those books in more depth, so I'm not going to really talk about them here, but I did read Check Please, which is a graphic novel, Sweat and Soap Volume 1, which is a manga. I read How to Date Your Dragon by Molly Harper, The Main Event by Shelley Laurenston, and Dark Planet Warriors by Anna Carvin. My current read is this one. This is The First Scientists, Deadly Inventions and Innovations from Australia's First Peoples by Corrie Tutt, and this one has illustrations by Black Douglas. This is the history of Indigenous science here in Australia, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It has been written for kids, but it is definitely something that I think everyone will enjoy. I am only a couple of sections in. I've read about the Indigenous astronomers, and I'm now looking at the engineers, and it's really, really fascinating. So you will probably hear more about that next week. In terms of the things that I did read this week, I read Gunmetal Magic by Ilona Andrews. This is book 5.5 in the Kate Daniels series. This is a spin-off with one of the side characters who is Kate Daniels' best friend. This is about Andrea Nash, and it is her second chance romance with Raphael Medrano, who is the male elfer of the Bowder clan, and Andrea is beastkin, which means she is human, but she also has an animal form. Between books 4 and 5, some things happened, and Andrea left for a little bit, and then she returned, and things have been strained between her and Raphael ever since. And at the very beginning of this book, she rescues her neighbour from some magical creatures that are trying to eat him, and then when she's working at Cutting Edge Investigations, which is the private investigation agency that Kate owns and Andrea works at, she ends up being called out to a site that Raphael's company is reclaiming materials from because some of the pack members have ended up dead from giant magical snake bites. And the story goes from there, and I really enjoyed it. It features so many of my favourite side characters from the pack, including Barabbas and Ascanio, who are 2 more members of the Bowder clan, and they are just absolutely delightful. They're some of my favourites, as well as Roman, who is a Volve, or a dark priest of the Black God, and every scene he is in, I'm usually laughing. So I thoroughly enjoyed this. I did talk about it with Megan and Heather in our most recent live show, which I'll also leave linked on the screen so you can check it out, but highly recommend. After that, I read Room for Three by Katrina Jackson. This is a novel. It is a black love menage story. So this is about Precious, who is on the hunt for an apartment. She's in college. She is trying to complete her studies, but she needs a place to live because her living arrangements fell through when her best friend ended up getting caught in some scandal with one of her professors. She ends up finding an ad that is put out by Callie and Mike. They are a couple, and they're looking for a roommate to help offset costs of the apartment. And when they all meet, though, there is this instant connection between them that eventually turns into a relationship. It is short, it is steamy, and I really enjoyed it. Next, I read Love and Other Wild Things by Molly Harper. This is the second book in the Mystic Bayou series. I did read the first one for Megan's reading vlog. She recommended it to me, and I fell in love with this series. It is paranormal romance, but it feels very much like a cozy mystery, and I love that. It's very low angst and a lot of fun. It is the romance between Zed, who is the mayor of the town, and he is a bear shifter, and Danica comes to town. She is kind of a witch. She has very specific powers, and she's there to help study a phenomenon that is in Mystic Bayou that is the reason why a lot of the magic is being changed in the town, and it's their relationship. They fall in love. It's great. They both have really strong personalities, but Zed is a total cinnamon roll, and I adored it. I also read Getting Ogre You by ML Eliza. This is a book that I heard about from Bree from In Love and Words. She's talked about it before. It is a novella featuring an ogre and a woman who is hiking and falls into down a hill or a hole or something like that, and is rescued by the ogre whose name is Krug. This one was really cute. It's very short, but there is a language barrier between the two of them, so they don't understand each other initially, and they have to learn how to communicate. And also we find out that Krug is a bit of an outsider to his own people, and we find out why later on. And it's just very sweet. It is a monster romance, so it is kind of weird, but it also has that element of sweetness, which is really fun to see. And then finally, I read 4 very short stories that basically are classified under different sub-branches of erotica, and these were just things that were sort of holdover from Halloween and also from the October Smuttathon list that I was potentially going to read but I didn't actually read, and this week has been a thing, so short reads were my go-to. So these are all by Burnett, and the first one that I read was Passionate Hell's Gates. This one is about Naomi, who's studying to be a nurse, and she takes a job as a carer for an old woman, but what she finds out when she begins to live at the house to take care of this woman is that the family has made a sex pact with hell, and it's short and steamy, and it does feature demons. I also read Ecstasy in Lockdown. This one is about Hayley, who was wrongfully imprisoned for a crime, but she has been released and is on house arrest while they try and figure out some new evidence that has come into play, and the house that she is living in is haunted by ghost brothers. So this one is a menage. There is Bound by Bloodlust. This is the story of Lee and Marcus. Lee works at a supermarket checkout, and one night as she's closing up the store, she ends up being taken by vampires. And this is very much a BDSM style story. Beware, blood, gore, etc. It's vampires. And then the last one was Thrilling Encounters. This is more sci-fi erotica. It is about Nadia and Kelvin, and they like to spice things up in their relationship, but they're going out to one of his work functions, and while they're there, they encounter some aliens. So this one is very strange. Just read the descriptions and check the content warnings on these 4 books. I really don't need to say all that much about them because most of them are 30 pages-ish and very, very short, but they were highly entertaining. All right, so those are the things that I read this week. In the comments, I would love to know what you have been reading, or if you've read anything that I've read, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Otherwise, if you want to let me know that you're here but you don't want to leave a comment, feel free to leave a bear emoji in the comments. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, everyone.